So one thing that I see a lot, and one thing I get told a lot, is that I shouldn't be on disability. Who are you to make that decision? And this isn't to anybody specific, this is in general. Otherwise, I'd have a comment that I'm actually replying to. This is just in general. Who are you to dictate whether or not I should be on disability? Are you the government? Are you the adjudication unit that decides whether or not somebody's doctors have filled out enough paperwork, sent in enough tests, whatever, to prove the disability? Or are you just some random person on the internet who's decided because I look able-bodied, because I don't look like there's anything wrong with me other than being fat, that I don't deserve disability, that I shouldn't be on disability? That's not your decision. That was a decision made by all of my doctors. That was the decision made by the government. They decided that I suited the category of being disabled enough to get the provincial disability. A couple years later, when I was not able to work, period, anymore, and I applied for the federal disability, I was also approved right away. That should say something. Disability is very difficult to get. I know lots of people have been turned down. I know lots of people have had to fight. And I didn't have a fight at all. Not for provincial, not for federal. I was approved for both immediately, with the paperwork that my doctor sent in and with my documents that I sent in. Which all that I send in personally is basically an essay explaining why I feel I'm disabled, what I need in a day, what I do and don't do for myself, etc., 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 what I'm capable of doing. And then they take that and they compare it to the doctor's notes, and they compare it to all my medical tests that would have to send in, all those results were having to be sent in. When you send in your paperwork for disability, it's not just like a couple little pages. No, it's like thick, like a book thick. Like, you luckily don't have to pay for mail to send it back, because you'd be paying a good like $10 just to send it back because of all the paperwork that you have to send in. Now, of course, everybody's package is going to look different because it depends on what their doctors are sending in. But for me, mine was about that thick worth of documentations that I had to send in for both of the disabilities. Mine was a page. One page was all my part. But my GP, my GI, my endo, all filled out the documents stating why they feel that I'm unable to work. And I was approved for both disabilities immediately. So, think to yourself before you look at somebody and say, oh, they don't deserve disability. They're not disabled. Not all disabilities are visible. If you were to look at my dad, you wouldn't know he's disabled. You'd have no idea. Now, if you looked at my ex-brother-in-law, yeah, you could probably tell that he's disabled. You look at one of my other friends. Looking at her, you would never know she's disabled. Never in a million years would you guess that she's disabled. Just like me. You look at me and you assume my only issues is that I'm lazy and you're assuming I'm lazy because I'm fat. That's all there is to that. The only thing you are right about is that I'm fat. And yeah, okay, maybe I'm a little bit lazy because I may not do everything I possibly could do in the sense of pushing myself. But that's because I won't push myself past the limits. I will push myself to my limits, but I will not go over my limits, because I have gone over my limits and made myself far worse. I know what I'm capable of, and I do everything that I'm capable of. But I still have disabilities, and I still have chronic illnesses. Nothing you say or do is going to change that. It is not up to you to decide if somebody is disabled. What you deem disabled does not matter. Stop being ableist. You can be disabled and you can be ableist at the exact same time. So many people come onto my page and be like, oh, I have this wrong with me and I still work. Oh, I have this, and this wrong with me and I still work. Okay. And like, not everybody is able to do what you can do. Everybody is different. Everything affects everybody differently. No two people are the same. Me and Jim Bob could have the exact same disabilities to a T. Everything I have, he could have. And I may be able to work, but he may not be able to, or vice versa. I know people that have the same medical conditions I do and are far worse off than I am. One of my best friends was going through school to be a nurse. She had an accident. She is now unable to work. But if you just looked at her, and if you just talked to her, you may not realize that she has these disabilities. And I guarantee you, she gets told time and time again, just get a job. Most disabled folks would do anything to go back to the life they lived prior to being disabled or prior to being sick. If that's a thing for them, if they weren't born with their conditions. Stop being ableist. It's not okay. You cannot dictate how somebody else's disabilities affect them. You cannot dictate whether or not somebody is disabled. That is not your call. That is up to their doctors. That is up to the government to decide whether or not they should be on disability. Just stop. If you don't like somebody, especially on this app, it's very easy to click block. It's very easy to scroll on. You don't have to come on my page and be like, oh, you're so lazy. Oh, you're so fat. Oh, you're not disabled. Yeah, I'm fat, but that's not what my disability is. Anyways, to those who have been here and supporting me along the way, I love you all. To my friends I've mentioned in this video, I will not name you because it's not my story to share. If you wish to name yourself, feel free. And to anybody else who is facing the hate and the bullying that I go through, I feel you. Just know you are valid. Don't let the bullies get to you. The reason I respond to the bullies, the ones that are commenting on here, because I've stopped commenting to the ones on Reddit, on the TikTok page. YouTube, I still got to get a handle on not commenting, but I don't bring it on here. The only reason I reply to those hateful comments is because they make me laugh. You should see how many takes I have to do to make a video because I'm laughing so hard, or because I've made some mocking video or some hilarious video and I'm just like, yeah, no, this shows how crazy I really can be at times. Just do better. Just do better. If you don't agree with somebody, that's fine, but it's not your call. Everybody have a good day.